Job chapter 1 verse 13 says this. There was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking and wine in their eldest brother's house.
All right.
There came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabaeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants and with the edge of the sword, and I am only escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and have burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And while he yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he yet was speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they were dead, and I only escaped alone to tell thee. Verse 20 says this. Then Job arose, rent his mantle, shaved his head, fell down upon the ground, and worshiped. I want to lift up, if I can, from this subject, how to keep it together when things have fell apart.
Talk to us, Doctor. Come on now. Talk to us,
Y'all don't mind, just touch somebody and say, I'm holding it together. But you don't know what I've been through. If that neighbor didn't talk to you, just turn to somebody else and say, you really don't know what I've been through. I just got this look, but I've been through something you just don't know about. I ought to have some worshipers in here. My brothers and my sisters, I am a person who loves late night sci-fi movies, early morning movies. I am a particular person. There's a show used to come on early in the morning called Dragnet. Y'all remember about that? He would Dragnet, I loved it because what they would come on and say, the story you're about to see is true. The names were changed to protect the enemy. On this day, this happened, and this scenario, and this started out. But yet, at the end of it, it said that the crime had been solved. We see this crime being solved, but Pastor Nolan, I just stopped by my friend and brother because I track you. I told you in the office, I track you on Facebook intentionally because we're looking at a story that is teaching us a valuable lesson of how to trust in God when everything has fell apart. I need to know how do I handle life when God becomes my problem? How do I deal with these trials and tribulations, heartaches and disappointments? How do I deal with the valleys, with these things that the devil didn't do it, but God laid it in my lap? What do you do when the stuff you're going through ain't caused by the devil, but it's been orchestrated by God. I need to ask somebody in here, what do I do when the rain keeps on raining? What do I do when the sun refuses to shine? What do I do when the nights are longer than I expect? What do I do when it's always shining on somebody else's side of the street, and I go to church every Sunday, I pay my tithes, and yet and still seem like I'm catching all the hell? What do you do? Well, my brothers and my sisters and Pastor Nolan, I need to ask this question. And I watched and I sat and watched and folded my arms, and I asked God, God, you are using my brother to teach me a lesson of, even though you got some tears, that weeping may endure for a night, but joy gonna come in the morning. How, my brother, can we watch you bury your mama one time, bury your sister another time, and then have to sit with your children and bury the sweetheart of your life another time, and yet have a smile on your face, serve the people of God, love on the people of God, and shout all at the same time? It's got to be a God somewhere. It's got to be. You got to give your neighbor a high five and say, it's got to be a God somewhere. How can I struggle and still be able to make ends meet when I robbing Peter to pay Paul, and sometimes Peter and Paul don't get paid, but my lights ain't turned off, I still got a car I can drive, I still got a roof over my head, I ain't got a whole lot of money, but I got some money in my pocket. I got something to thank God for, and there ought to be some witnesses in this house who can stand right where you are and testify God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. How do I handle life when everything has fun? First of all, here's how you handle step number one. You got to know who with you when you're going through what you're going. The psalmist says it like this: I waited patiently on the Lord. He inclined unto my ear, and he heard my every cry. Number one, you got to understand that when you're going through something, you got to shed some tears.
You're right.
Listen, it bothers me that we got all these church folk who so saved act like nothing bothers them.
Come on.
Lord, help me today with saved folk who so saved. They got it all figured out.
Come on.
Listen, every now and then storm clouds will invade your privacy. Tough times will invade your privacy. But they used to tell me tough times don't last always. Tough people do. This text will teach all of us that, number one, God is a problem solver if you wait on it. If you hold what you got and wait on him in spite of the circumstances, God will see you through. I think it said it like this: they that wait upon the Lord, that he shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And there ought to be some witnesses in here who can testify with me and say, I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some rain in my life. I've had some storms in my life. But through it all, I've learned how. I didn't say I figured it out. I said I've learned how. I didn't say I knew how. I said I've learned how over time. And I've learned how to trust move out of this. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna get out of here. It says, watch this. See, you gotta be careful about folks who always bring new stuff. They always say that. Yeah. The messenger says, one day a messenger came. When that messenger came, another messenger came. When that messenger came, another one came. But guess what? Who are they? It's amazing how God always uses no-name folks to get stuff out. Because you got to watch folk with no name. Because God uses no-name folk in a brilliant way. Okay, y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Tell me the name of that lad that had that sack lunch that gave it the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread that we don't know his name. Can you or somebody please tell me the name of the woman with the issue of blood that will perform it? Can you tell me the name of the man that was at the pool who, when he got the complaining talking about, do you want to be made? And he said, sir, I have no man. Listen, every now and then, you ought to thank God that people ain't calling you by your name. Because every now and then, you ought not worry about whether somebody call your name. As long as the Lord knows your name, and as long as the Lord, that when you leave here, he can say, servant, well done. That's the name, because I understand that there is a name that I love to hear. I love to hear his praise. It sounds like music in my ear. Oh, how I love Jesus. My brothers and sisters, we can shout this moment, testifying to the fact that when things are not going according to plan, you can count on God. Because what I need to run back to you, if you go back and look into some verses, it says, and God. God sometimes sends storms in our lives not to break us, but to make us. God is not sending storms to bruise you, that there are times that God will send a storm to bless you. God is not punishing you, but sometimes the best way that God can get a praise out of you, he has to put you down to lift you up. And there ought to be some witnesses in here that every now and then, when I thought I was going through some storms, all God did was get a little bit more praise out of me. And I don't think I'm by myself when I can say that every now and then, when the storm clouds rise, when things are not going according to plan, I can say, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. There is no other help I know. Sometimes, when things are going array and you don't understand. They had a song, Pastor Nolan, down at the Lake Providence Baptist Church in the Red Sands of Gilmer, Texas, on Route 5, Box 503. If you make a right there by the four-way stop sign, you go up about half a mile and look to the right, and you go through the front door. As soon as you go through the front door, you're in the sanctuary, and you would on the far right side there was the senior women, and then on the right side of that there was the women, and they would say, "We'll understand it better." Oh, I got some country folks in here, so I'm glad we're all in the same. Said, we'll understand it better. I never knew what they was talking about, but my grandmother, the late Zenobia Brown Jones, she said, we'll understand it better by and by. And then she would say, by and by, Lord. When the morning comes, when all, y'all gonna help me here, when all the saints of God together and we'll go home and we'll tell the story of how we overcome. But she got so happy, she said, but we'll understand. Somebody ought to help me here. We'll understand it better. And they just kept saying that and kept saying it and kept saying it because it had something to it. In other words, what they were saying was, out of all the stuff I go through on this side, you don't understand what I'm going to get to when I get to the other side. That the trials that I have on this side won't compare to what God has in store for me on the storms that I'm going through on this side won't compare to the glorious things that's waiting on me on the other side. And there ought to be some witnesses in here who can testify to the fact that I'm headed to the other side. Job had to sit and listen, Pastor Nolan, to all of these things that had been brought to him. He had to live with the fact of these storms that had come his way. Had to live with the fact that he had lost his cattle. Live with the fact that he had lost some of his children. And let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. I don't know if you've ever experienced the loss of a loved one. I don't know if you've ever experienced the loss of some things. But if you haven't, as they used to tell me, just stick around and keep on living. And don't act like you ain't never lost something. That some of us have lost some things that we wish we could have back in our lives. But I just got some good news to tell you that if you hold on to God's unchanging hand, that though you may cry some tears, hold on to God's unchanging hand. Though the storm keep on raging in my life, I've got to hold on to God's unchanging hand. Though it seems like I'm always tossed to and fro, I've got to hold on to God's unchanging hand. Though the valley may seem like I'm so far that I can't look up, I've got to hold on to God's unchanging hand. Though the wind and the rain keeps beating in my life, I've got to hold on to God's unchanging hand. And I want to tell you, my friend and my brother, that it seems like sometimes you're all by yourself. But I'm reminded that if you just trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean to thine own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, he will direct your path. I need to ask the question, what do you do when life has thrown you a blow? What do you do when things around you have fell all apart? I want to tell somebody there is a God that sits high and looks low. I want to tell somebody that if you just trust in the Lord and be like the psalmist, I lift up mine eyes unto the hills with which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I got to trust in him even when I can't trace him. He died so I can trust in him. Stay dead so I can trust in him. Stayed in the grave so I can trust in him. Rose one Sunday morning so I can believe in him. Isn't anybody here don't go hold on to him? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy gonna come in the morning. I thank God that when everything fell apart, God stepped right in. When everything didn't go according to plan, he held me in the midst of his arm. Isn't anybody here go hold on? Isn't anybody here go trust in him? How to keep it together when things have fell apart. Job worshiped God. The best time to praise God is when things ain't going according to plan. It's amazing. We want to trust God when everything is all right. But have you ever trusted him when things wasn't going all right? When you didn't know how you was going to make it? When you didn't know how things were going to work according to plans? God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can ask. God bless you today is our prayer.